Hi everyone, good evening. This is your girl Oluwatoyi Omotayo. I am the founder of the Olanike Omotayola Foundation, also known as Two Foundation. I am also the director of Protea, Protection, Rights and Equality for Women here in the UK. You know what we do at the foundation? We advocate against domestic and gender-based violence globally. Naturally, whenever we have our usual Instagram live chat, I normally make a video, a recap video for you on YouTube who couldn't join us on Instagram, or probably for some reason, maybe network or something, you are able to watch the full video on Instagram. And sometimes the videos are also so long that you may not be able to watch it fully. And today's guest was very special person to my heart. I call her Queen of Arts, because she has real people that loves her for real. And she brought so much light to this discussion. And honestly, I am proud of myself for being able to bring such a special person to educate us today on the live chat. Well, today we talked about faith, marriage, and domestic violence. Is the church walking the talk? It was and it was a controversial topic, right? But fortunately for us, and or maybe impressively, a lot of women, even men, came online to say yes, that topic was really on point, and probably they've been expected that at least somebody will come up and say this thing. Let us call a spade, call it what it is. And our guest today was so good. Her Majesty Queen Naomi Shilekonla Ogunwusi. She's a woman of God, right? So then what happened? She talked about, she talked about everyone who is involved in this matter, from the church leaders to our government to the church members and the victims themselves. She started the talk, letting us know that number one, who is the church, or who are the church? We, me, you, everyone, not the building, not the church building, the people that goes to church are the people that go to church are the church itself. We are the church. So when we talk about the church, is the church walking the talk? It's asking me and you, are we walking the talk? And then she went ahead and talked about um the the church leaders, and she explained that no, you see, we cannot be holier than the Pope. They should not place themselves in the position of judgment. They should not, they should not domesticate abuse. Domestic abuse is not a domestic matter, it's a criminal matter that should be treated as such. And also, the first the church should do is to rescue, right? To rescue, and not just to rescue, that the church should go further by making sure that perpetrators are brought to book. Because leaving the perpetrators to even roam the streets is dangerous for the for the victim, and also getting protecting others for them, and probably putting them in a safe place, making sure, ensuring their safety, because we all know that the moment a victim escapes their abuser is like the most dangerous time of their lives. And then she went ahead and talked about, we the church members, we should do better. We should not judge. That even some pastors want to do better, but then they know that if I do better, I will lose my congregation. They will go. You have one sitting in your your highest, telling somebody who is divorced not to hold any position in church, not to anchor any program in church. And the pastor knows this, that if they try to be inclusive like that, some of you will leave the church. You people have, like, we have arrogated ourselves to the position of Jesus Christ judging everybody. It shouldn't be like that. She also spoke on some archaic, not really archaic, some practice in church that should be abolished, like in its entirety. Any good women association in church that does not include divorcees, that does not include good single mothers, should be abolished, should be cancelled. Any organization in church, any unit in church that is formed and is discriminatory in nature should not even be allowed to be formed in the first place. Then she talked about the victims. She said something that is very important, because sometimes we tend to pick the problem from the top. We don't address it from the source where the problem originated from. She said that we that abuse victims of abuse should not look down on themselves. They should not think of themselves as small. You should not think that you have God, you have Jesus, you are a Christian. God frowns at divorce, but it's not angry. It does not hate divorces. Yes, it does not like divorce, but it does not hate divorces, right? So when you are divorced, don't turn yourself like don't judge yourself before the church judges you. Be bold, be confident in yourself, be confident in the step that you have taken to save your own life. Don't blame yourself for things that you cannot help. Don't think you are. See, she made an example of the woman Jesus met at the well. That woman was married 5 times already, and yet Jesus approached her. So she touched on all of these things. However, my own point of view as an advocate is that I will stand on business. Domestic and gender-based violence is a crime. It is prescribed for under our law, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of Nigeria. So the law enforcement agencies, include the police, the church also, they owe it it's an obligation for them to make sure that perpetrators are brought to book. It should be reported as it is a crime. Nobody has the legal justification to say to send an abused victim back to their abusers in the name of, oh, it's a domestic matter or it's a domestic issue. Domestic abuse is not domestic it's not domestic issue matter. It's a criminal matter that should be treated as such. On to our next video. I say take care. Bye.